is we need to appoint someone to keep the minutes, and I recommend that we appoint our city attorney, Justin. So do I hear a motion?
I'll move.
Got a motion by JJ, do I hear a second? Second by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and that is approved. So just call our roll.
Yes, Mark Williams. Here. Erica Velasquez.
Here.
Jeremy Cobb. Here. Mike Millicamp. Here. JJ Thompson. Here.
All right, next order of business is pledge, so would you join me? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you this evening, seeking your face as we conduct the business of the city. We pray, Lord, everything brings you honor and glory. We ask you to be with our city, guide it and protect it, Lord. Forgive us all where we fail you, in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
And next, we have two recognitions. Randy, would you come up? This states in recognition of 10 years of service with the city of Cave Springs, Arkansas. And I want to thank you very much for your time with the city and give you that on our behalf. So thank you. And the next one is Julie Bradbury. And this is in recognition of 10 years of service with the city, and we're so grateful for your time and your service. So thank you very much. That's part of the fun part of this job. And it's nice seeing people that are staying around and making this a career. So I really appreciate everyone who's working diligently for our citizens. Okay, next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda, and I do have an amendment for it. The item number 2 on the back is not prepared and ready yet, so and ask that we take that off, and we'll address that at a later date. And do I hear a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
Got a motion by JJ, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and that is approved. Next item is the January 27 meeting minutes, and I did not receive any, so at this point I would ask that we move the table. Got a motion by Jeremy, do I hear a second? Second by JJ, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign, and that is tabled. The next item is financial reports, and we are making great progress on those. Those should be ready for discussion at the March work session, and we expect to have approval on the council, for the council at the March meeting. So do I hear a motion to approve both, to table both sets of financials? Got a motion by Jeremy, do I hear a second?
Second.
second by Mike. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. And that was, or the table. So the next item is the department reports. First is fire.
Anybody have any questions? Hopefully we're quelling some of the problems with the dues notices, calming that down. So people are understanding when they call and talk to me about it. So
And we do have the notice posted that you put together with only a couple of words changed. And I've had a very positive response so far to that. So,
thank you.
thank you. Next is police.
You guys have the stats in front of you, if you have any questions about that. The police department still we're chugging along. Again, we're still 2 people down because of deployment and injury, but hopefully the person will be back soon. We're hoping probably in about another month. And we did get both our cars that you guys allowed for us to purchase. We did get those picked up, and we're slowly integrating those in.
What about the cameras?
We are getting those all shipped in now. They're sending people out, I think at the end of March or the 1st of April, to install all the dash cams and body cams and teach us how to use all that stuff. They're slowly shipping it to the police department now, so we've got, my office is full of boxes. So they told us that's how they would do it. Instead of trying to bring it with them, they just ship it here ahead of time. And so we're hoping, and they said they could do 2 cars probably in a day. So hopefully they'll have them done in a week once they get here and get going. So that's the hold up on that.
Anything else? Thank you. Next is planning report.
Good evening. Obviously, we don't have anything to go before you all this month for planning related, but we do have quite a few items that are going before the planning commission itself. Most of it is lot line adjustments or fairly simple lot splits. We've got one little bond property up on Farrar Lane, proposing to just shift the property lines, kind of provide better access to where some of these lots are placed. We've got a split proposed on Brown Road. This comes with a variance, so if this moves forward, it's something you'll potentially see next month. We've got another proposed track split on Morningstar Road. This is for the Hayden family. They're just proposing to split off the southern section of their property. We've got another proposed lot split on Ozark Acres. This comes with a variance. So depending on how the variance goes and everything, another simple lot split. Biggest thing that we have before us right now, as far as new items, is a phase 3 that is it's the completion kind of the P4 property, Paycon on Grading Lane. And there's still a couple of different parcels of land that are adjacent to 112 that don't have development plans. This is a final development plan for the rest of the site that exists that has the 4 current buildings on it. So fairly large development plan, but they had already, before this, previously done all of the infrastructure improvements where you see the pond and everything in that floodplain area. So they actually had a lot of their storm drainage things already worked out for the entirety of the property. So it's actually been going fairly smooth, no major complications there. So, other than that, we're continuing working on the zoning code. We've got a lot of the use chart that we've gone through, looking at different sections of it, consolidating things, seeing if there's things we want to add. We're still in the process of working with the Legacy Project. That is the project that we have with for the Congress on New Urbanism that's going to be in Northwest Arkansas in May. This is where we partner with the watershed. We're going to start next month, starting to have some charrettes, public involvement meetings and things like that. We're going to have some flyers and things go out. The CNU itself handles flyers, and then they will distribute them to us, and we'll put those out there. So you'll start seeing those things coming before the city. We still have multiple development projects that we're working on. The project on Murdoch Road west of town is the permit for the site. They've got some work they're still doing on their offsite sewer, so they're coming along pretty well. Looking forward to kind of the start of that. And I think that's really the majority of the items that we got going on right now. So, unless y'all have any specific questions about anything.
The Vitt property,
Yes, sir.
I think I know the answer. It's in our city limits, but it has a rural address, correct?
Yes. Yeah, that was the address I think they had put on their application, but it's in our city limits. It's a Cape Springs property. Yes, sir. Anything else?
Thank you. Next item is Water and Sewer Department.
Hello, everyone. So we'll start with the open work orders. We have approximately 10 open work orders. 5 of those are leaks. We started looking in subsurface drainage areas, so subdivisions like Brentwood, Hyde Park, and we were able to find 10 leaks that way. Just to give you some perspective, I think we fixed 10 leaks total last month. So we found 10 leaks in 2 days, which is promising. The only downside to that is, not everywhere has subsurface drainage, but it's a good start. And hopefully by fixing those, we can tighten up the pressure and existing leaks will maybe start to surface. The other stuff, we're still moving along with installing air relief valves on the system. We've worked with McClellan to identify localized high elevation high spots on the system, and we're working our way from the south portion of the system to the north and flushing hydrants to see which ones have the most air, or if any air at all, and then determining locations to install those. The water loss report, we're at 64%, down from 71, but still up there. But we're doing everything we can to get that under control. We're fixing all the leaks that we find within the same week, 99% of the time. The reason we haven't fixed all the leaks that are open right now is because we found so many in such a short amount of time. So, you have any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Next item is the engineer's report.
I'll touch on a few water wastewater projects. First, our NACA sewer line project. We're still going through the paperwork for final closeout. I expect that you will see documentation for a bond swap next month's meeting. That will allow us to reduce the principal amount borrowed down to the amount actually spent. That'll finalize that loan process with NRD. We've got 2 utility relocation projects for Highway 112 realignment. The northern section has been completed and approved by the Department of Health, and we'll begin painting easements anytime on that section. And then we're roughly 60% through the design on the main section here from downtown, generally in the downtown area. Water service area expansion, for us to expand out along Highway 264 west of 112. We got to prepare a report, submit that to NRD. That has been submitted. We will have a public hearing once they set a date to further discuss that, and local communities that border us to discuss that and make those adjustments. Our sanitary sewer system master plan was submitted to the Department of Health, and they have concurred with the submission. The water master plan study has been submitted to the Department of Health, and we're waiting on their concurrence on it. And lastly, on water and sewer, we should have a meeting with a consultant, the April work session to talk about potential water and sewer rates adjustments there. So more to come a little over a month on that. On the other public works project, Wallace Road, Sands Road, transportation alternative project, or sidewalk project we're doing. The concurrence letter has been drafted and is sitting in the proper channels at RDOT for signature. Once we receive that, we can go ahead and enter into a contract with a contractor with, which you've already accepted their low bid. Subject to tax signal, I know everyone is waiting to finalize. It is getting close, and I've said that several times, but the power, if it was not installed today, we expect it anytime. SWEPCO was somewhat behind due to the snow and ice storm, sending folks out, but we should see that anytime. And
Once they put the power to it, does RDOT have to come out and make it flash, or is it something automatic, it'll be flashing right away?
we already have a schedule for that. It's going to flash, and don't quote me exactly on this in the time frame, but it'll flash yellow on Highway 112, red on the cross streets, just like where your stop signs are today. That will do that for a short period of time, and then it will flash all red always, and then they will install it to function properly and take the stop signs away.
Okay.
So that's about a week, week and a half time frame, whatever that is.
But once SWEPCO does it, do they start flashing right away, or we have to wait on RDOT to come back out?
No,
I think
our
it's
contractor will take that.
TLS.
Perfect.
TLS will do that.
Perfect, thanks.
RDOT will do a final walkthrough with us to close out the permit that we have to actually work within the right of way. But this equipment belongs to you, not RDOT. We just have a permit to place it in the right of way. We still lack a little curve and striping that will need to take place for the project as well. But as soon as we get power, TLS is ready to go.
I have a
Thank
question.
you.
On the southbound, on the north side of the stoplight, southbound, you kind of got that little curve there. If we put a sign up warning of a stoplight there, is that the city's responsibility or the highway?
The cities.
The city's.
The cities. Because the signal belongs to the city.
Okay. Do we have to get approval from RDOT to put up a sign?
Put the sign in there right away.
You do.
Anything else?
That takes 6 months.
Attorney's report?
Good evening. I'll give you an update on 3 pieces of litigation. I'll kind of start in the backwards, coming forwards closer to time. First, it has to do with the fire department case. As you know, the architect is now a party to the case. They have counsel out of Tulsa. I believe the parties are working towards a mediation date. And when there's news on that, I'll let you know. So I didn't have a whole lot on that one. Second one deals with Hutchinson versus City of Cave Springs in federal court in the Western District of Arkansas payable. There was a hearing on Ms. Hutchinson's request for an injunction. That hearing took place approximately 2 weeks ago. The case was filed, I believe, in September-ish, and along with that filing, she requested an injunction to have financial duties restored. The city opposed that motion in support of our opposition. The city submitted a number of kind of lengthy sworn statements. Those statements were from the mayor, they were from the landmark CPA, Jake Fromsdorf, who you all have met. They were from Carl, and they were from Assistant Chief Lawson. At the hearing, Mayor Noblett testified. The judge accepted the statements, the sworn statements. It did not require any testimony on any of the other sworn statements. Ms. Hutchinson testified, and Mr. Fromsdorf testified. The judge last week issued a ruling denying the injunction. For an injunction to be granted, there's really a four-part test in the federal court system. The two main factors are likelihood of success. You have to, in order to get an injunction, you have to be able to demonstrate to the court that you're likely to succeed ultimately. Secondly, you have to show the court irreparable harm, that if an injunction is not issued at this time, that you will suffer irreparable harm. In the federal system, there's also this balancing of the equities that looks at the rights that are being asked to be, in this case, restored versus the city's concerns with its financials. But the court ruled in the city's favor. The court found that essentially the claim was unlikely to succeed on the bill of attainder claim. She failed to meet that burden. But also on irreparable harm, the court kind of found the opposite, that the city would suffer irreparable harm, and therefore the court declined to issue an injunction at this time. Where that leaves us in this case, going forward, we'll see. We are now in discovery, so we're going to be moving forward with the discovery phase of the case, and as there's updates to that position, I'll certainly let you all know. But the injunction has been denied. The case moves forward. We're very confident in the case. Another point that the judge made was that the city council acted under appropriate statutory authority when reassigning those duties, and that was acknowledged in the order. So I was pleased to see that. I hope that was pretty clear to begin with. So that's the second case, and then the third one has to do with the city was made part of a lawsuit between Three Flags Investments and Sycamore Holdings LLC to property owners along the north side concerning Lillian Lane. This is a part of Cave Springs that came in via the land swap, and what it pertains to is phase 4 of the Scissortail subdivision. Phases 1 through 3 were developed and approved through Rogers. When the land swap happened, phase 4 was being planned on and submitted, so it came through our development process and was approved. There's been a dispute about whether Lillard is a public road or a private road. In the course of that dispute, property owner put posts in Lillard Lane. That case was filed in the fall of last year, early fall of last year, and every judge in Benton County recused. And so we had to wait quite some time until February, until a special judge was appointed. The parties filed injunction motions. The Sycamore Holdings filed an injunction against the city and against Three Flags. Three Flags filed an injunction that the city joined. The city's concern was about public safety, having the post in the roadway. The other concern was that it, by all appearances, it appeared to be a public roadway. It had been something that had been maintained by the public work by the county and then by City of Rogers for quite some time. However, in the meantime, phase 4 has been developing, and kind of one of the changed circumstances is that there's now a 25-foot kind of roadway there that didn't exist back in August or September. So we had the hearing on that Friday, and Mayor Noblett, David Keck, and Will Smith were there along with me to testify. Before the hearing, the day before, the attorney for Sycamore Holdings and Hester, who's the other party, dropped their request for an injunction. So they dropped it. The Three Flags still had its request for an injunction, and they went forward on the hearing. At the hearing, Three Flags presented its case. The city was prepared to present its case. However, before the city could present its case, the judge denied the injunction motion. And the best I could tell, a little hard to hear. There's some things kind of going back and forth. But he reflected on the fact that the changed circumstance of there being now a 25-foot cut-in road has changed that from a narrow lane, which it was kind of like fall last year, to being something different now. And so he said, based on that, he was going to deny the injunction. So we didn't get a chance to put our case on. I stood up and asked to, but wasn't provided the opportunity. So that goes forward as well. I have had some communications with the attorneys in that case to see. At this point, I'm not sure what we're arguing about anymore, because the plaintiff has dropped their injunction request. The development is going forward. So I think we're going to try to meet and confer and see whether there's anything left there. But I may have an update for you all at the March meeting. So that's just an update of 3 cases that have been going on. Besides that, I have a lot of work to do with McClellan and Will at the city regarding all the drainage items we have on our list that we went through kind of late 2025 and in November and December. That's still left to do. A number of things. I guess an update on the golf course is that probably by the work session, all the deeds will have been transferred or issued regarding that matter. That's the requirement that we have once we have decommissioned the treatment plants on the golf course to transfer those properties and equipment over to Hash Properties. And so that is currently been kind of going through the motions, and I think probably by the work session we'll be all done. So I'll have a report on that when it's all done. That was a mouthful. Any questions from you?
I just, for anybody listening, they can get, the city can provide the results of the injunction. It's public knowledge for both cases.
Yes, it's all public record. Anybody from the public can go watch. There were some people in the public watching at both injunction hearings, and the orders of public records. It's all public.
Thank you. I do have copies if anybody wants a copy of the injunction decision for the second case you mentioned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is the clerk's report, and she's not here. So then the mayor's report. Mine's going to be a little bit different tonight. First off, Fairway Valley streets. We've had discussions in the past about drainage in Fairway Valley, flooding in Fairway Valley. A lot of times the storm drains are under the streets or along the sides of the streets. And in just doing some general research to see what our options are, I've discovered that apparently the Fairway Valley streets were never dedicated to the city or still owned by the private developers. And we don't have those streets, so we can't maintain or upkeep or anything else. That's their responsibility at this time. So,
Mayor, have you let them know, the ones that you've been in contact with?
I've did more research this afternoon, and we're going to do a little more confirmation through our city attorney. But I found the plats online at the county that have been submitted to the county, and there's no dedication blocks anywhere on there. So it's looking very likely that we don't own those
We
streets.
provide those ones that were concerned with an official letter from the city.
We will update them when we've got it confirmed.
Perfect, thank you.
Mayor, can I add something on that too?
Yes.
The mayor called me today. We had a brief discussion about that. We did say we were going to meet and take a look with McClellan as well, make sure we're not missing anything on that. So probably we'll have some more information, just kind of confirmation on that at the work session.
next item on my agenda is, by state law, every year I'm required to do a State of the City address. And tonight is that night. So the address starts. Good evening, everyone. 2025 was a year of accomplishments and challenges for the city of Cave Springs. As we planned, reacted, and restructured to overcome unexpected obstacles and opportunities, we witnessed successes, achievements, and completion of some projects while starting others. In 2025, we completed the community building restoration, the NACA sewer project, drainage projects, 9 street improvements. Restructuring in City Hall improved accountability, efficiency, and employee morale. The new traffic light is nearing completion, and construction will soon begin on the Wallace and Sands Road sidewalks. We saw employee accomplishments through licensing, certifications, and recognitions. Employees are now achieving milestones in tenure, with 4 reaching 10 years of service with the city by July. Experienced employees will often provide better service and with added efficiency. In 2025, we evaluated and restructured city operations to provide professional processes and to make accomplishments out of obstacles. As a result of these challenges and continuing transformations, tonight I will give an overall budget comparison. Resolution 2025-52, the 2025 budget amendment that was approved by the City Council in September, shows an overall combined city budget of $12,798,975, with $3,163,687 of that in reserve revenue. While Resolution 2025-59, the Council approved 2026 budget, shows an overall combined city budget of $10,886,340.62, with $686 of that in reserve revenue. Although the 2026 budget will increase due to project closeout carryover and the final cleanup of delinquent taxes, substantial budgetary reductions can be attributed to city growth and completion of projects. Restructuring and positive transformation has its pain points, but it has improved overall strength and viability of the city. In spite of, or because of, these challenges in 2025, the state of our city is strengthening. It's an honor to speak about the progress of our city for the 8th consecutive year. Previously, analogies were used to achieve a more informative, enjoyable, or memorable presentation. Shakespeare's Hamlet depicted turmoil involved in transcending COVID. Fleetwood Mac's Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow demonstrated the city's perpetual need for planning. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle of quantum mechanics illustrated the uncertainty of variables that both can and can't be controlled using city tools. And Socrates exhibited the importance of adapting to change, recognizing change as vital growth, and believing constant pursuit of knowledge equips us to successfully shape changing circumstances to benefit our city. I trust tonight's shift from analogies will not be disappointing. Tonight, I will address the principles of good municipal governance and how they are practiced in Cave Springs. Good municipal governance is dependent on 5 basic principles, working together to create an effective, responsive, and professional government system. These are not theoretical concepts, but practical guidelines that shape how principled governments operate. The first principle is accountability, which means taking responsibility for actions both good and bad. Recent challenges that included the discovery of previously incurred IRS obligations and certain financial reporting issues that were not known or expected. Upon discovery, the city has taken action to ensure that these obligations are met and that previous issues will not persist. As public servants, we are accountable to the people. As public servants, we are accountable to the people for the way we use public money, and we should all approach that responsibility with care and concern. Accountability leads to a positive response, such as the situation in Cave Springs, where we are on course for a 30-year capital improvement bond to be paid off after just 7 years, in part due to the strong growth. The capital improvement bond was funded a new fire station, water system expansion, and sewer system conversion. The second principle is transparency, which means government operations are open to the public scrutiny. For Cave Springs, examples include restoration of the city website and a website upgrade that's currently underway. It also includes a responsible social media policy as approved by the City Council and the current transition to policy compliance. The third principle is efficiency. This means improving outputs results with minimal resources while preserving or enhancing quality. In Cave Springs, efficiency examples include the technical advancements of conversion to radio read water meters, adding a boom mower, and new specialty softwares. It also means utilizing grants and other alternative funding mechanisms to reduce the burden on taxes and fees while expanding the services and projects provided. The fourth principle is inclusiveness. This means involving many different people from different segments of society to ensure equal access to government services and decision-making processes, because good governance serves everyone. Examples for Cave Springs include appointment of people from varying backgrounds to the Planning Commission and a growing number of committees, with appointments of Cave Springs residents, business owners, elected officials, and in some cases employees. The fifth principle is rule of law. Rule of law means that all people, including residents, government officials, and visitors, are subject to the law. Legal processes apply equally to everyone without regard for social or economic status, and recognizing that no one is above the law. In Cave Springs, examples include a police department that operates independently without political intrusion, and an independent court system where the judge is not a city employee and is not subservient to city administration. These 5 principles of good municipal governance can be summed up in 2 primary elements that make up any quality business organization: professionalism and integrity, which are crucial to a city's ability to obtain grants, receive loans, and qualify for other alternative funding mechanisms needed to continue the advancement necessary for a growing city. It is critical for Cave Springs to maintain access to benefits and that are provided by professionalism and integrity. Cave Springs, as any growing city, has needs for infrastructure improvement, expansions, and additions. We are approaching a time for a new water tower, new ladder truck, more firefighters, a site development inspector, new city yard equipment, and material shed, and an expansion to the current shop. Although growth, grants, and other alternative funding sources have enabled us to do much more street and drainage improvements over the past few years, we need a reliable source of funding to increase drainage projects and street maintenance. In 2026, Cave Springs must complete the studies needed to ensure reliable operations and services are provided in compliance with state statutes, and at the lowest possible utility rates necessary as the city grows. This includes finding funding alternatives that provide for city growth by those who profit from the growth without tax increases for residents. We must enact the guidance provided by these studies so the city can continue to restructure, improve infrastructure, provide services, and embrace the continued professionalism and integrity needed to support the city's growth for many years to come. Thank you. Next, we have the resolution.
What about public comments?
Oh, public comments, yes. Anyone want to make public comment? You would state your name.
Yes, sir.
And where you're from, and we will be glad to hear from you.
Thank you. My name is Hadley Hindmarsh, and I live about 2.4 miles away from here in Rogers. I am a candidate for Benton County Circuit Court Judge. I apologize for arriving late. I was doing my job over in Harrison and making my way over here. I just wanted to come introduce myself, sit in, listen to things going on here in the community. I think understanding what's going on in each town and community is very important for every public servant. And so obviously we have early voting going on. I'm out working on that journey for myself. I do practice family law. I've been doing that for almost 20 years. Division 4, which is the circuit position that I am running for, is primarily family law. So that is why I am here. It's also nice to see Justin, whose mother was my 4th grade teacher many years ago in Fayetteville. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Next, we will do our resolution, and what we've got tonight and the way we approach this is we had 2 candidates for the open seat for MC's council seat, both of which have provided resumes, both of which provided we have done resolutions for. And if this is your appointment, I have no input on it. I'm not looking to control the system, but you can either, if you would like to hear from them again, you heard from them at the work session. If you'd like to hear from them again, they're both here. Or if you would like to just make a motion, and whichever name, Mr. Chris Aiken or Charles Lindley, that you choose to move to approve, then we will, at that point, that's the resolution we will work on, and then go from there. So, how would you like to proceed? Do you want to hear from them again, or would you like to make a motion?
I think maybe we could make a motion, and then if any councilmen want to hear from anybody or ask any questions, then before we vote, we could do that potentially. Yeah, I'll say I've known Charles for a very long time, and I really appreciate his service and everything he's done for the city. I personally do want to see more new people getting involved with city government as much as possible. And so I am trying to kind of cast a little bit of a wider net, bring new people in, snare some new blood or something like that. So I thought Chris's resume was very impressive. I thought that he could bring a little bit of his medical background is different than any of the other people on the council. So I just thought he would be an interesting person to have as an addition to council. So I'll make a motion to appoint Chris Aiken to the council.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Got a motion by JJ to appoint Chris Aiken. I've got a second from Erica. Any discussion?
I also like Chris's police background as well. That would bring a nice aspect to the council, since we are all so different, and bring something different.
And the Dumas background. We need more people from Dumas.
Anything else?
I will say again though, that Charles has been a really important part of this community for a very long time. He's served the council, he's served the city in a lot of capacities, and I do just want to say, Charles, I've always really appreciated it. I met Charles whenever I was opening my first business. He came in and helped me, do renovations to the building, never asked for anything back for himself. He just wanted to help, and I just have always really appreciated Charles for his work and his work ethic. So thank you, Charles.
Anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. And that did pass.
Motion passes 5-0.
Yes.
Resolution is unnumbered at this point. I believe we had something that was made 209 resolutions at the last meeting or something like that. I don't have the exact number.
We will get that updated appropriately and get that out to y'all this week. And the last item in there is, I had a request to see if our, Landmark could provide us something on one page that went over kind of what we've spent on taxes, penalties and interest over this whole process. And that page is the last thing that I entered in the back of the packet. It doesn't require any action. It's just informative.
Thank you.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I have something I'd like to
Okay, we've got another statement.
Through all of the goings on with and dealings with the tax liability and everything, there was a news article posted on Facebook about the situation in our city. There were numerous comments made. Some of them were directed specifically at the mayor and the council, saying they should need to be replaced, all of them. And I would encourage anyone that feels that way to step forward in the fall and run for office and let the rubber meet the road, instead of just sitting back and being armchair quarterbacks. Thank you.
Anything else? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion by JJ. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Eric. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.